Welcome to Paperweights, the podcast where two self-proclaimed gym rats and shooting enthusiasts delve into the world of literature with a sprinkle of humor. Although their biceps could crush a walnut, don't let that intimidate you. They also have a nerdy side. Mike and Brandon have a voracious appetite for reading, particularly in the fantasy genre, and they want to share their passion with you. So grab your protein shake and your favorite novel and join us for a humorous and insightful journey into the world of books with Paperweights.
Welcome back to another episode of the Paperweights. I'm your host, Brandon.
And Justin.
And today we will be finishing our discussion of Book 2 of Red Rising, Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. But before we get into there, we are sponsored by Mudcat Whiskers, which is a Louisiana small business that specializes in men's grooming products. I personally use the wash and conditioner daily, and then follow it up with a beard balm and beard oil, and it keeps everything kind of looking nice, feeling good, less itchy, all that good stuff. So if you're in the market for that kind of care, self-care, which I recommend, head on over to mudcatwhiskers.com and you can use code Paperweights at checkout. He has several different fragrances, scents of it, including an unscented, which I prefer to use at night when I go to bed. Don't really like to have all that smell going on at night. But if beards aren't your thing or facial care is not your thing, he does have, he does have shaving creams. So if you don't keep a beard, you can look into those. And but if you are incapable of growing a beard for whatever reason, he does sell candles and colognes. So make sure you use code Paperweights at checkout. You'll save yourself 15%. So we are officially recording this after Christmas. So do you have a good Christmas, Justin?
Yeah, it was good. It was very chill with the fam. I actually was responsible for cooking the meal, so that was fun. We did a carnivore Christmas, so we did ribs and steak. It was fun.
That sounds delicious.
It was.
We had we were at my mother-in-law's, and my brother-in-law and his family came over, and his in-laws also came over, and basically just had a Christmas ham and some rolls and some desserts and sweet potato casserole. So not a huge spread. We didn't really technically have dinner. Just kind of snacked. It was pretty low key. Like I told you before, we dodged a house fire. The water heater ended up the wires ended up catching fire and melting. Luckily, it didn't catch anything else on fire at the house. So, um, yeah, hooray for that.
You're right.
Did you get anything good this year for Christmas? Good presents?
Yeah, so you might notice that this is a new place that I moved into. I moved into my great aunt's house, and so my parents went in a little bit on a new refrigerators. That would be nice because the old one was from like the 60s. So
Oh, nice. Wow, it still worked, kind of.
I mean, it's probably like 80s or whatever. It was really rough, but it works. But yeah, I got a new one coming in, so that was good probably.
Oh, keep that old one, put it outside.
Exactly.
Yeah, crazy. I what did I get? I got the coolest thing I got was an attachment for my squat rack. It's called a roller pad, and basically it has a little pin that goes in the holes, and you have a little pin on the other side that holds it in place with a little wire. Um, and you can use it for like split squats. So you can kind of put your, if this is your foot and this is your leg, you can put one foot back and the roller pad goes right on this area, and you could do single leg squats and stuff. Um, you can also kind of layer them right on top of each other, and then you can stick both of your feet in there and do like a Nordic curl. So you basically have your feet stuck in there and you brace and you try to go flat and then bring yourself back up with your hamstrings and everything. Um, Killer hamstring and ab exercise there. So, wow. Yeah, pretty fun. My mother-in-law, she sets up a whole lot of games to play. So she had like a Deal or No Deal type, and I unfortunately got a sweet potato. Um, I changed. She gave us everybody got like a stack of gold chocolate coins, and it's like you can keep those or you can trade them in for this wrapped gift. So I was like, yeah, I'll trade it in. I was the first person to kind of show all the kids how to do it. So I open up the package and it's a it's like a multi-port uh, charger. So on one end it's like a USB, on the other end it's three different types of plugins. And she's like, yeah, you can keep that or you can pick one of these three boxes. And I was like, I'll pick this box. And I picked the smallest box because most people go for the biggest box because they're like, there's got to be something cool in it. I was like, I'm gonna do the small box. Well, small box ended up just being a sweet potato. So I got laughed at, but hey, it's all about having fun.
Hey, but also you have a sweet potato. You can eat it and not die.
Yeah, yeah. But other than that, I good news. I was cleared to move on to the next phase of therapy after my surgery, which is loading the pec with starting with very low weights and stretching. So we weren't really stretching it before, just kind of doing range of motion without like really trying to pull on it or anything like that. Um, and also got the clear from the doctor to go back to jujitsu. So I've been 4 times now since getting like I basically left the doctor's office and went straight to jujitsu that day when he said I was clear. And so I basically take my right hand and I stick it inside my belt and just use my two legs and my good arm to do jujitsu and do whatever I can. So,
Learn any cool one-armed moves?
uh, I did. So the very first day, he did go over the instructor that day went over you can use it two arms, but you can easily do it with one arm. But an entry from guard over into a one-armed belly down arm bar. So I kind of snuck on that with a few people. Uh, I tried to do it's called a bicep slicer, and this one in particular was from side control and doing an arm ride on it. And I didn't finish it, but the guy was like, "Are you trying to wrist lock me?" I was like, "Nope," but I'll show you later what I was trying to do. So, um, but it's just good to be moving around and
Yeah, good to be active.
sweating again. Just moving. Like if you're active and you feel depressed, it's like 10 to 100 times worse when you stop being active and you still have those overwhelming feelings. So, um, it's just good to be active. Um,
Yeah,
I enjoy
definitely.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, congratulations
yeah,
with your
well,
progress.
thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm I've started writing and fleshing out. It, I'm not I'm the character building isn't great yet, or isn't fast for me yet, but I'm still learning how to do this. But trying to create a one shot, for the Cosmere RPG for us to go through in our group, and then
That'd be
maybe I'll
fun.
maybe I'll run it at CoastCon.
Oh, okay. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So I've created two characters. I need to go just do the story and create the encounters. And then I might just, they have some pre-gen characters on
Mhm.
their Brotherwise Games website. So I might just grab a few of those as a basis and then just change a few things here and there if I want. Um,
Yeah, as you, it just takes practice to know what you need for your characters. Like if you need, a whole like mood section of what do you like what they need, or just the name and like the race, and then you're good to go. So yeah, it just takes time and practice.
yeah. It's been
Because
a
when
while
I
since I've DM'd, so
yeah, because when I first started off, I like had the name, had like the traits and like all sorts of crazy stuff. And then like towards the end, I was just like a name and I was good to go.
yeah, I'll be excited to run that. I got to play it at NarbyCon.
Mm.
Chris and Jason and I were all players, um, and so we all kind of enjoyed it. And it was nice to see it in action.
Mm.
And
Was it
Jason
cool?
was Jason was actually surprised that he was like, I actually really liked it because he heard mixed reviews about it. And
Mm.
so um,
Yeah, that would be fun. Brandon Stein over here.
yeah, sneezing. I saved the sound for
Yeah,
the audio only people, so they didn't have to hear me. So.
I too have caught a little crud. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but uh, I've
Yeah,
got a
Jules
little.
was sick too. She had a sore throat and then her eyes were red for a couple of days. But um, Christy and I didn't catch anything. Uh,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I did have this weird thing, and I don't know what it was, but um, like I was trying to figure out if the inside of my nostril got scratched and it kept getting scabbed over, or if it was just a spot where the mucus in my nose kept like gathering and like caking really hard. But like it was like bothering me. Like if you touched here, on the outside, I could feel it on the inside. So like
Jeez.
like trying to get it out of there, like blowing my nose and everything. It was just very annoying for like a week long. I was like, what is going on here? But yeah, there's never any blood, so I don't think I had a scratch or anything. I think it was just my body was like, you know what? You're gonna have this weird mucus in your nose.
Yeah, good thing you cleared up.
Yeah. Sorry for anybody that doesn't like mucus. Um, but if you are one of those people that like mucus, you're kind of weird, but they're not going to judge you too hard. So.
Yeah, and I guess this episode is probably gonna come out after New Year's, so Happy New Year's to the people as well, or right before New Year's. I don't know.
Yeah, probably right before New Year's, but you know, the next one will be after New Year's for
Yeah.
sure. So, have a happy New Year. Don't blow your hand off or any fingers off. Um, so be very, very careful.
Yes.
I've had a firecracker, singular one, explode in my hand before. It did not feel great, but I still have all 10 of my fingers. So
Yeah.
you can see them here in the video. They're all there, but it hurt. And I
You,
like kept my finger in a glass of ice water for a long time.
yeah, you don't want to be what Jason Pierre-Paul, the football player that blew off his part of his hand
Oh
with
yeah.
fireworks. And it was pretty gnarly. Of course, I saw a picture of it. I was like, oh, that's rough.
And was
So
there
yeah,
another football player? We're way off on a tangent. There was
yeah,
another football player that shot himself.
yeah. Forget who that was. That was a wild one.
Burgess? What?
Hey,
Burgess? God. Football player who shot himself in the leg. Well, there's a lot.
yeah.
What? Oh, well, these people died. Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Let's move on to happier things. But yeah, be careful with the fireworks. And,
There's gonna be a lot of death in
drinking
that
and drinking
discussion.
and driving. Yeah, there's a lot of death. Speaking of which,
Yes,
we can get
do not drink and drive. Be responsible.
mhm. And with that PSA out of the way, how did you like the book, Brandon?
Um, I liked it. It's it's not one of my favorites. I still feel like there's too much. Um, there's too many twists, there's too many turns, too many too much of not settling in somewhere and having characters really develop in a setting and things happening. I don't know if it's going to get better, but overall, it still is. It's fun. It's exciting. Um, it's just so different. I did think there was a good moment in this half of the book. Um, and we'll talk about that when that comes up. But it was like a good emotional moment of forgiveness, and then just the yeah, well, you can forgive somebody, but it doesn't mean that other people are going to. So,
Yeah.
um, tough luck with life. So, how
Yeah,
about you?
I kind of feel the same way. I think it's definitely better than the first book. But I think it's just his writing style that I just don't particularly jive with. It just it it feels weird reading. It kind of just feels like stuff is happening, and you just kind of go along with it, and then it's just like, oh yeah, okay, all right, cool, all right, we're on to the next thing, and then like there's not really much like character development really. Um, yeah, so I think it's just that this series is not like badly written, it's just maybe not the style I prefer. Especially coming from like, these epic fantasies of like Sanderson and Robert Jordan and things. This is way more, I mean, it is a YA novel, so it makes sense, but it's way more just kind of like, boom, shit's going on. Because, I've read YA, I've read all of Throne of Glass and stuff, but that's way more character driven and it has the plot and little mysteries and kind of like that. This is kind of just like, rah, stuff happens and then the book ends.
Yeah, anything that's a mystery it doesn't give you time to think about it because like sure he'll introduce a mystery and this is my take on it like he'll introduce something like okay who's Ares but then for half of a book Ares isn't mentioned at all like
Mhm.
any hint any like drawback for the reader to be like oh yeah think about this again
Yeah.
um and it it comes back later and is just like, oh yeah, here you go. This is who it was. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you didn't let me try to think about things and build that suspense and then go. And you don't give me hints as to who it is. There's no foreshadowing.
Yeah. And like I find his writing of action for as much as this book is about action, I don't think it's particularly well done. I think that's my biggest complaint. Like um the invasion of Mars, like I kind of had like no idea what the fuck was going on throughout most of it. Because I'm like, is it this large scale, millions of people, but there's like him and 40 guys assaulting this base? It was very like weird. I don't know. But I kind of just went with it. You kind of just go with it. Like I said, it's not bad. It's just not my style of book, I think. But we can get into it if you
Yeah,
don't
you want to
mind.
briefly go over a summary?
Yeah, so we're gonna do the same new format. Brief summary. Basically, starts off. Darrow is trying to get the Rage Knight in his employ. Basically, kind of like blackmails him a little bit into like joining their side. And then like Aja shows up, and that was part of the plan to make her escape. She ends up escaping, and that was really weird because Rook blew up their fleet, and she's on like a moon, so I don't know where she escaped to, but she somehow got away. Which that was confusing to me. And then Tactus was there, and the Rage Knight kills him, and Dare is sad because he could have maybe turned around and been a good guy. You know, he was a crazy bad guy. But that sucks. And then it's like, then Mustang comes, and she's like, "Hey, my father got captured. You know, like go rescue him." Let's see what this happens. Um, so basically, they formulate a plan to retake Mars and rescue Augustus, and that the Sovereign is there on Mars, so they can like capture her. They can win the war,
And
and
they want to take her fleet, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um. So they fight Mars. They go fight Mars. They do like this Iron Rain, which is pretty cool. It's basically they get shot out of like cannons into orbit into space, and they all like come down in Iron Rain. Um, and then they like I said, it's complicated. Eventually, basically, Darrow is on a mission to capture the Sovereign. Um, and he has to like penetrate this place. He gets ambushed by like a lady he doesn't shoot that has a EMP grenade that gets like all of his people killed. Um, During all that, Ragnar, the Obsidian, he like gives him more and more shit to do. He also tells him that he's red. I don't know if that happened last time, but it happens. Um,
Yeah,
Ragnar's
he
like,
told him he was a red the last time and then gave him the choice to still follow him.
yeah. But Ragnar's getting more. He gets a razor, which they're not allowed to use. Um, anyway, basically, a lot of his people die, but not many of the important ones. One of the random howlers die, and we're supposed to care about him. I was like, oh no, that guy. Which was kind of funny. Uh, anyway, like Darrow alone makes it to the compound and somehow gets aboard the Sovereign ship and is gonna like try to take her, but he like very easily kills Karnas, which was a little disappointing. That fight sucked. Uh, but then Fitchner like saves him and reveals that he's Ares, and but the Sovereign gets away because she has like a stealth ship. Let's see what else. After all that, uh, Darrow gets a communique that Jackal has captured all of his Sons of Ares people. So he leads like a little clandestine operation to free them, which he does. Meets up with Dancer and all of them. He's like, cool, we're all good. I'm gonna go take Mustang to back to my home city, meet my mom, tell her what I am. And he does that, and she's like, bye. She leaves. She doesn't shoot him or anything, but she's like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, well, damn. All right. And then And basically, there's a giant twist at the end of the book where the Jackal and Rourke, Rook, I don't really say that guy's name,
Right.
betray them. They end up killing Augustus, or Mustang's dad. Uh,
Antonia, she
yeah,
had previously she had like Victra had was like, yeah, I brought my sister and my mom on board
yeah,
with us, but then it was a ploy to just betray them.
yeah. Um, yeah, because they somehow found out, we don't get revealed how, that they know that Darrow is a red, maybe Mustang, but I doubt it, because she's gonna be the one that saves him, I'm guessing. But yeah, so Fishner's dead. Darrow is like paralyzed and is gonna get dissected. And Victor's shot in the spine twice, but probably not dead. And that's
Fitchner is
Fish.
beheaded.
Yeah, he's dead. And that's kind of where it ends with the giant cliffhanger. Severo, I think, is gone. He's notably not in the ceremony. Oh yeah, so Augustus is dead. Everything is fallen. Shit be bad.
And Darrow had already been declared Nero's heir at that point too. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and that was the whole plan was like
yeah. His whole plan was
like let let Nero sorry, declare Darrow as Nero's heir,
yeah,
and then when they overtake the sovereign, Nero is going to become the king or the sovereign, and then Darrow is going to lead the House Augustus.
yeah. And
Like,
then when Nero dies, he becomes de facto sovereign and can like break down the society. That was the Sons of Ares' plan. That did not happen. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the book. Cassius was there too, chilling. Um, I think all of Cassius' family is dead now, which is kind of fun. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what happens. There's more,
his mom
obviously,
died,
but
huh?
I think he said like all of his brothers and his father, and I think his mom died because there was a giant battle in the sky or whatever. But yeah, uh,
I forgot so much. Like
I,
so much happens, but it's just like, does it matter? Like, I don't think there wasn't enough time to like impact, right?
yeah,
Like, sit with it. Like,
yeah,
since we talked about Stormlight before, if you haven't read Stormlight, don't want a spoiler. This is a brief spoiler, but
I'll put my hand
when
down when the spoiler's gone.
whenever Kaladin had got put in jail for disobeying the king, we had a few chapters of him being in jail to deal with those emotions, and we got to sit with that.
Yeah, yeah, and like it's like the same. Well, you could say this for characters, but like Rook's betrayal, uh, like we don't know anything about him, so like it doesn't really hit you. You know what I mean? Because like book one, he was dead for most of it, and he was like a poet. And then this book, he was like supposedly his friend and a poet. And that was kind of like his character. So it's like, oh no, this guy betrayed us.
Yeah, I thought, I really thought that Tactus's death,
Yeah,
I think that had more weight,
yeah, it did. Oh,
because
I forgot to say, the Rave Knight died, but like we never got really much with him either.
yeah,
Like he seemed cool, but like we never got really much of his and Darrow's relationship or anything like that. Um, so it's kind of like he had like a griffin and was like reluctantly dragged into the war and seemed cool.
he had a
But
lot
yeah,
of kids and
yeah,
concubines, and he was oh he lived a long time, huh? It was like 100 and something.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So. All right, you want to we can go down through our different topics if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We've discussed a little bit of everything, but we can go for it. So, first one is the world building and the setting. I mean, this kind of just for me kind of flows from last part. The only really things I saw was like that they like. I think they already knew, but like we got to meet them making a mythological griffin, which is kind of crazy. Um, so yeah, the world is really weird in this book with like the Obsidians that are basically Vikings, and then everybody else like the golds are like Greek, and then they can like basically make your body into anything with like the carvers. They can make mythological creatures. So that was interesting. And then we got to see some of the outer planets with the Rationites place. That's kind of where I saw my world building at. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely we got more planets, like more armor, more ships, and more history in this section. So it's fleshing out. It's doing more world building, but it's still not like it's not doing a whole lot of character development.
Yeah,
Um, we're getting little bits, but it's like these moments should be impactful, but they're just not hitting for me. Um, but I do
yeah,
like all the world building that's going on. It's cool.
yeah,
Like the history that Lorne tells of like Bellana and Augustus, the feud between them, and how Nero was like, "Yeah, I'll marry this chick in Bellana," and then like on their wedding night beheads her and gives the head to her
mhm.
father. And it was like, what the hell? This is okay, this is crazy. Um,
Yeah. That was crazy.
let's see. I wrote a note here.
Yeah, I will say I wish there was more world building in the weapons department because like I couldn't tell if when they got to the planet if they're in like actual mechs or like just like kind of power armor. Like, you know what I mean? Were you confused about that too? I think they're like
Yeah, I thought,
I think it's power armor, but I'm not sure.
yeah, so there was two things. Like there was an outer armor that was powered by electricity, and so when the EMP went off, they all froze in it, and it was like almost like shard plate without
Yeah.
stormlight, right? So they were stuck, but whenever they got out of it, there was still the shell or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
which to me, I thought that was like a mini mech suit, but it wouldn't make sense to have that on underneath this other thing that they just got out of. So I think that's more of like a, I don't know, more of like a wetsuit type
Yeah,
special armor that has like you can encase your face in and still breathe like
I
in
was thinking kind
atmosphere.
of like Zero Suit Samus um for your Nintendo people. Kind of like skin tight
Yeah,
armor. But I couldn't tell if the big armor was like big or like are they like 8 feet tall in it or are they like 15 feet tall? You know what I mean? So like
I think they were like 8 or 9 feet
that's
tall.
kind
I
of what
don't
I
think it
got to
was.
it, but like I don't know because they were like zipping over mountains and shit. I was like, yeah, that's the one thing I think. The lack of descriptions in these novels is like it's hard to picture some of the things. Like I remember last book where we didn't really know what a razor was until this book. We're like, oh, it's kind of like a whip sword. Um, yeah, I think he because like it has like missiles in it and stuff, so I don't know actually how big it is, and it was very confusing. Um,
Yeah. So this one, I think in this section is actually when he tells Ragnar, I think you're correct. This is where he actually tells Ragnar he's a red. There was the chapter 34, Blood Brothers, when they're in the freezer and they're
mm,
talking about it. Um, this actually reminded me back at the Institute.
Mm,
Um, and this is actually more character stuff than world building and setting. But anyway, it goes back to the Darrow building his army in the Institute, where he would like free the enslaved people after they proved themselves, thinking it would be better for them to follow him freely. And
yeah.
that's kind of like what he's going for. Um, and
Yeah.
gets burned by Rock or Rook or um, in this section, which I don't know. It's weird. Like after he knocks out Rock, like he sedates him. There's only like two times where they're and we're in Darrow's point of view. So there's
Yeah.
literally two times where they see each other, and then on the third time, Rock's betraying him.
Yeah. And like
Like
Mustang's like, hey, you really need to like reconcile with him. And like he's like he does it like one time, he's like, hey, we good? And he's like, yeah, we're kind of good. And that's like there's not much, yeah.
it's like the hey, you're good? Yeah. All right, cool. I thought we were good.
Yeah.
Backstab.
Yeah. Another one word building I did like was when he went back to his hometown and talked with his mom, and she was like, "Yeah, like most people are just gonna like stay in the mines because like that's kind of what we know, and yeah, hopefully you can if you win, you can like get us better living conditions and stuff. But we're kind of like you know the helium still needs to get mined, so which was kind of fun."
Yeah, that
Different perspective.
going the whole return to the mine actually reminds me of like Zion when they return to Zion in the
Mm.
Matrix. And I was like, because I think there was even like parties and things that they were having down there.
Yeah, because he made them give him like double rations and beer and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the last thing I had with world building and setting was like finally we get a plan from Ares. Like we got a plan from Ares in this section. And we're like, holy shit, all right. After a whole book and a half, like we finally have, oh yeah, this is what we are trying to do. Like the whole time, it's just like we're just running off of Darrow's need for revenge. Like, hey, join
Yeah.
us. We're gonna make you into this absolute monster of a man, but we're not gonna tell you what our plan is. So just go out there and go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Too bad the plan is not there anymore. You
Yeah.
know what? When did you think this when it said that the people were captured by the jackal? I thought it was what Envy and Harmony and those people. So I
Oh,
thought, yeah, I don't know what happened to them. Are they? They're not dead.
I don't. They were rebels from. They were
Yeah,
rebels that were not wanting to follow Ares anymore.
yeah.
Um,
But for some reason, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I think it's because they said a violet, and I got that confused with the pink for
the Violet wasn't that the Carver? Was that Mickey?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because you referred to it. I was like, oh, okay, that's Mickey, and then uh, was it Dancer or Harmony?
yeah, yeah. It's Dancer.
So
Yeah,
Dancer and Mickey got
Mickey.
captured. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But like when they were first talking about it, I think I got confused with Violet and Pink. And I thought it was them. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. They just like save these people that he doesn't like because they need to keep his cover. But it was not that. Um, yeah, we got a little bit more of like the obsidian stuff with like them not being able to use technology and like things like that, which is interesting. Um, we get Ragnar, who's like the most OP anime guy ever. He's basically Broly. Um,
Yeah, he has my athletic feat of the week, by the way,
yeah, see
which
that.
was I'll just go ahead and put it right here because we're about to go into characters anyway.
Yeah,
When he grabbed the gold that had the pulse shield on, and he's just like he's getting shocked, but he's just like, yeah, whatever, and it just smashes like tanks through the shock. I was like, okay, this is just badass. Like,
yeah. He's almost too badass. Um, but yeah, okay, we can. That's a good segue to characters. Um, so I guess we start off with Darrow. Um, Kind of just a continuation of his arc throughout the book. Uh, we get him, reaching out to Taxus, trying to, get him to change, which ultimately fails when he gets subsequently murdered by the Rage Knight. We get, more with him wanting to trust Mustang and being like, hey, like my revenge won't really do anything. We actually need to like come together as a society of all colors, or else it's just kind of like we replace one dictatorship with another, and nothing really changes. So it's kind of just I see him as just kind of growing more and more. I
yeah,
don't know why he's leading troops on the ground, um, because he's like a general. He shouldn't be doing that, but whatever. It's whatever.
yeah. I also think that he's continuing to lightly test the waters, like on who is susceptible of supporting low colors, in positions of power or autonomy. And there was a moment where he had with Orion where she pointed out, it's like, hey, you're pushing too far. You're not in touch with things anymore. Um, where like she's had experience of watching like interactions, and so she's aware of it. Where he's been kind of a gold for too long, where it's a weird dichot. I don't know if dichotomy is the right word, but he's been a gold for too long, but he still is like thinking like a red, where, hey, yeah, I'm a gold, I'm in power, I can give you autonomy and tell you to do this and trust, but society doesn't say that. So
Yeah,
he's kind of losing touch with the I guess the caste or the hierarchy going on. So he's not paying attention to it too much. And that might be one thing that kind of gave away his redness or whatever.
yeah. He also gets that pretty good conversation with Augustus about like, hey, like, Augustus kind of lays out his whole philosophy to Darrow about, we're saving humanity and blah blah blah. And humanity has to be ruled by this, and we're gonna go to the cosmos, or else we're all gonna like die out, like, which was his like belief, and kind of just, a little opposite uh of Darrow's views, which was fun. And how he was a true believer, like he wasn't doing it for power, he was doing it for the good of mankind. Whether or not that's true, it's obviously probably really terrible because a lot of people die and are enslaved and stuff. But he will not get his goals because he's dead, killed by his own son.
Yeah, we could talk about Lorne.
Hmm.
Um, Thought he was kind of cool. He's kind of like a Obi-Wan type character here. I thought visiting him, I think on Europa, was fun. It also kind of reminded me a little bit of not as evil yet as Taravangian, but just kind of like how Taravangian was isolated away in Carbonth and whatnot. Uh, And there was a section where I was like, when we first found out that Lysander was like we first find out Lysander is Lorne's grandson, but then we find out a little bit later that Octavia is his grandmother. And I was like, wait, were Lorne and Octavia a couple before? But no, their children were the ones that married each other. So they were not a couple, which would have
Yeah,
been blown my mind. I was like, okay.
it was kind of set up that it could have been that, but yeah. Yeah, one was cool. Once again, I I think this book, if like Sanderson would have done it, we would have definitely seen Darrow meet him and get trained with, convince him to train and like things like that. Instead of just basically all the character development between them off screen. Um, yeah, I mean, it gives me, like we're going with Stormlight, it gives me a Xyle kind of vibe to him. This kind of weary warrior, kind of just wants to stay on his own, ultimately gets killed. Um, yeah, I wish we could have seen more of him. Now that he's dead, we're not going to, unless there's a flashback, which I don't think this book series is going to do, or a prequel, which might come out later. Um, but yeah, yeah, I think he's a little bit of a wasted character, honestly. Um, you get to hear about him a little bit in book one, and then he kind of just shows up, fights a battle off screen, and then dies here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's way more potential for more badassery. Um, but also at the same time, because like he's pretty badass, but if you built him up, you'd be like, all right, well, you got Darrow who's a badass, you got Sevros who's kind of a badass, you got Lorne who's a badass, you've got Karnas was a badass. Uh, then the next people I was going to talk about, the Telemanuses, they're pretty badass and cool.
Yeah.
So you might have had another problem of having too many badass characters. Like your whole
True.
party's OP. Like
Yeah, I mean Ragnar, who is the most anime OP character ever.
yeah.
Yeah, I just think like if Sanderson was gonna, I don't want to always compare this book to Sanderson. It's just a different style, but it's kind of my preferred way. Just more character driven. Is like his Darrow forcing Lorne into war against his will, basically, which is what he does. Ultimately gets him killed. Would have held more weight if we had seen their relationship instead of just being told about it. And I think that's the biggest weight because him like you're like, man, Darrow is kind of a piece of shit for like doing this to Warren and showing his desperation and him being a gold and using everybody and things like that. But like, I really think it could have been better in my eyes, but like this book just doesn't have time because it does an entire planetary invasion in like two chapters and a lot of other stuff. So it's just a different style, which is fine.
Yeah, I completely agree. Um, and I think the same can be said for, the death of Fitchner, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so Ares is dead. All right, well, now we don't have the anticipation of more involvement of the Sons of Ares and Ares. He is just dead. But it's not oh my God, the entire plan is is borked now, and what are we gonna do? How is Darrow gonna get out of here? It's just okay, well, Darrow's just been doing his own thing this whole time, so who cares if Ares is dead? Darrow's just going to continue on what's
Yeah.
been happening. There's no weight there. Just like there was no weight with, Lorne getting killed after being pressed into war against his will. It's just like you don't have that relationship built up. And you know,
Yeah,
I've seen it posted by a few people um that are in my little Cosmere Instagram circle. Um and they do a lot of content, but they'll cross into talking about other book series, and Red Rising is one that comes up, and often they'll put uh Cosmere and Red Rising as two series that'll leave you with emotional trauma, and I'm just not getting there yet.
no,
Maybe later on it changes, but so far through two books, it's not there. The closest that I've gotten was EO being killed, because we actually got to spend a whole 60 to 70 pages basically with just Darrow and EO.
yes,
You had a thing, and then like, oh, okay, she's dead. That, um, and then to me, there was a moment with Tactus. Like I felt that moment with Darrow convincing Tactus that, hey, yes, you made a mistake and you've done some evil things, but I should have listened to you. And what you need is somebody that will listen to you and help guide you and be there for you and not leave you to swim all on your own. And Tactus seemed to be very receptive to that and crying and like, you're right. I'm sorry. I need help. I'm sorry for this. And Dara's like, it's okay. And then Lauren is like, haha, bitch. I didn't say anything. Now you have
yeah,
consequences.
yeah.
But
That and
did
the
I
other.
miss did but
Hmm.
before you move on, did I miss something with Tactus? Did he actually kill some children? Or was it just
I don't think he was like going to threaten them, I think.
yeah. So it was
I think he was gonna kill them and Dara talked him down, for what I remember.
yeah, so I think Lauren overreacted, but
Yeah. But I mean, if you're in that gold world, like you kill life is so cheap. Yeah, he's gonna kill him.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say the only other death so far that's been a little impactful would be when Quinn died. Just because she was one of the only other names I remember from like the Howlers and things. But even then was a little bit undercut because we were just told that Severo was in love with her when we hadn't been shown that at all. Um, but yeah, yeah, I agree. Like there are a lot of like grim, dark stories that because there was a lot of people that died in these two books, but I don't feel any emotional resonance with them. And you can do it pretty quickly because, like, I don't know if you ever watched like Attack on Titan. Uh, oh,
I've seen a few episodes.
a lot of people die on there, and it does a pretty good job of like making you care about people that are fixing to die in a very short time. And I feel like this book just doesn't because like there's just names, and I kind of just like, can you name another Howler besides Severo?
Weed?
Maybe, yeah. Like I don't know. So yeah, it was so funny. Like one of them dies, and like Severo is like, oh, like gets angry. I'm like, I was like, I don't know who the hell that guy is. And he's like, oh, he was with us at the very beginning in the institute. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, I guess so.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
There was 50 people with y'all at the beginning of the institute.
Yeah.
I could name
Uh,
five.
yeah. I do think that's one of the weakest. The emotional aspect, and it just comes from there's just not enough times with the characters. There's too much going on. And and it is fun reading it because it goes fast and it's really easy. Because like the opposite of that is like Wind and Truth, which like nothing happens for like 800 pages. So you don't want that. But I think this was just a little bit towards the middle of like emotional resonance. It's like I feel basically nothing for most of these characters.
Yeah,
Even though they're cool, like I'm like, oh, they're cool. Oh, this guy's a badass. Ragnar's a badass. The Telemines or whatever are
there
cool.
was I don't think it was really sorrow. But I mean, there was the moment when the EMP went off, right? And Darrow's like, all my people are dying. Like
That was
that's a
cool, man.
connection with Darrow, but you're not like, oh my God, we've lost such and such. Like Jimmy's dead. Oh God, not
Yeah,
Jimmy, but
but
it's
then
like,
yeah, but then none of the main people died in that, right? All the
right,
Howlers were fine. Ragnar was fine.
right.
So it's
So
like,
like,
oh, these.
why were none of his lieutenants or anything with him at that moment? Like it's this crazy thing that, you
I
know,
think they were, but they just weren't the ones that were getting killed. Which,
how convenient.
how convenient. That whole thing was weird because it was like he didn't kill this lady that was had a grenade, and I was like, why weren't y'all using EMPs all the time? Because it seems like it's really effective to just wreck necks that they had or power armor. But yeah, let's see. Do we get to Fitchner?
I did not. I didn't write anything about Fitchner, but before you
Uh,
move there, the
yeah.
Telemanuses,
Mm,
those guys are cool. We basically got a whole chapter with them and their little foxes.
yeah.
That are basically they were described as being like the size of wolves, basically. Um, they kind of remind me, if we're going the Game of Thrones route, uh, kind of like wow, my mind is blank.
Um,
The Starks.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
But just the main characters of
yeah, yeah. Um, and I kind of feel like they'll probably still support Darrow once they find out he's a red.
Yeah, especially since the Jackal um betrayed their liege lord and everything like that. Yeah. Yeah, they're interesting. They're a good tie to the emotionality of Pax dying. Like he's one of the ones that like still gets mentioned and things like that. So it's fun seeing that death have repercussions throughout the novel. Yeah, I don't really have too much on them. They're very, very minor characters. They're cool. I was just gonna say for Fitchner, um, we get his backstory about how he fell in love with the Red, and she was genetically engineered to be compatible to have a baby with them, which means that the Golds are a different species than the Reds, which is kind of crazy, technically. Um, so that's the definition of a species. Um, and that Severo is half red. That's why it's so scrawny. Um,
Which we find out he just found out that his mother was a red.
yeah. Even though it was weird, they killed her, but they didn't kill her child. I don't know why they didn't kill Severo.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh no, she's like masquerading and she was altered to be able to have a child, so we're gonna kill her. But we're not gonna kill the production of the offspring of her that's gonna taint our legacy. So that was a little weird. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we get him. I do think Fitchner being Aries isn't that interesting. I wish it was somebody else, but it was cool when he
I will
saved
say it's cool
Darrow.
that I like that it was somebody we knew
Yeah,
and
it
it
had to
wasn't
be.
somebody just out of the like, oh, hey, it was like the second lieutenant of the Sovereign was
Mm,
like, oh, who? Like, have we
yeah,
met this person before? No, we haven't. Oh, okay, well,
yeah,
whatever. But yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, like we said, he's dead. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. I wish,
Did
I
you get
wish.
did you get a seven moment with that? What's in the
Yeah,
box?
yeah. What's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Great movie if you haven't seen it. Not gonna spoil the ending for anyone out there.
Uh,
There's something in a box in that movie. You probably know what it
yeah,
is because it's a
we're
very.
not gonna spoil the ending of that movie.
There's a box in there. Who knows what's in there? Has nothing to do with the end of this novel at all.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely nothing. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Any similarities you may find between the two things are purely
Right.
coincidence.
Yeah. I guess we can also add in Severo. He's kind of like the same as was in book one and book two. Um, maybe when his dad's dead, we'll get a little bit of why he hates his dad. I guess because of the mom thing and stuff like that. But I don't know. Severo is kind of like not really a character for me. He's just kind of like a he kind of feels like a animal companion in D&D. Like Darrow's a ranger, and Severo's just this wolf that kind of just does stuff. He doesn't really have like a character to me.
Yeah, he's almost like just a unhinged jack of all trades.
Yeah, he just kind of goes and
If you
kills a bunch
need
of
something
people.
crazy to happen in the plot, Severo does it.
Yeah, like he's cool, but he's kind of like you can't really talk that much about him because he just kind of like is there and he kills people. Um, but yeah, he's fun. I guess one of the other big ones is Mustang. Um, we get her finding out that Darrow. Oh, they finally have sex, so go them. Um, she finds out that he is a red. We don't know the resolution to that until next book. Um,
She is very smart.
yeah,
Like he put a tracker on her so he could see where she was going. But she knew that, so she put it on something else. I forgot what it was she put on, but that thing was going far, far away, and she was
yeah.
hidden and snuck up on him.
I think she put in like a mine cart or something like that. Yeah, she's cool. Um, Largely in this book, she does stuff like off screen, like to help out the war effort and stuff. So maybe hopefully next book she'll be like more of like the second lead that I thought she was going to be in this book. Um, I don't know. I do think that this series is getting a little too grand in scope for it to be contained within one POV. I don't know if you felt that way.
Yeah, like there's so much to be missed. Um, just because you stick with Darrow, but that means you would need point of views from people on the other side as well.
Which would be cool.
So Cassius, like if you had POVs of Cassius and you had POVs of the Sovereign, um, and then hell, it would have been even cool if you had POV of Ares, um, in a manner of the Dark Friend interludes from Wheel of Time.
That would have been cool, yeah.
So like
You don't know who it is, but he's like doing stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
you know you're in Ares' point of view, but there you don't know who Ares is.
Mhm.
Um, and so like almost like a Forsaken style thing.
Yeah, that would have been
And
fun.
that would be cool to have
Yeah.
tossed in there.
Yeah. I really think speaking of Severo, I think a Severo point of view would really help his character out a lot, where you could get his perspective on things and like, all that sort of stuff. Because yeah, I was starting to feel the single POV of Darrow to be a little restrictive in this book, especially as the scope expands.
I think somebody told me that in the second series there are multiple points of views.
That'll be good.
Um, I hope. I want the third book to continue with just a Darrow point of view. There
Yeah,
was,
I don't think it would change.
I think, I think it was Maze Runner. It was either Maze Runner or the Divergent series where the third, like the third book ended up going from the first two books were one point of view from main character. Then the third book in the series, it swapped between two main characters. And once, like, when I started on the third book, I was like, oh, well, the main character that we've been following the first two books, they're gonna die. And
Spoiler
like,
alert.
I don't know, I gave you two series, but
Yeah.
anyway, um, and I was like, it just you completely change your your writing structure for your
Oh
book.
yeah.
But it was like it was so obvious to me, whatever series that was. It could have been a completely different one. I don't even remember. It pissed me off so much. I didn't
You
finish
forgot
that
about.
book. I didn't finish that book because I texted my friend and I was like, "Hey, I just started this book and this is how it ends." And I didn't finish reading it. They're like, "How the fuck did you figure that out?" I was like, "Well, this." They're
This,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Yeah,
But
I definitely wouldn't change it mid-series, but that I could, depending on what the second trilogy is about, I could definitely see that helping uh in this. Let's see who else. So that's Mustang. I'm assuming she's gonna save Darrow next book because I doubt
but
he's just gonna die.
I did tell you last book that Mustang was going to find out that Darrow's a red, and she's not going to be happy, and she's not going to
You're
trust him for a bit.
you're right. Well, actually didn't get her perspective on it. She just kind of left. I mean, you got a little bit of perspective,
Well,
but
I mean, she left, so it
yeah,
wasn't like oh, it's okay, I'll be with you forever.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, right before that, she did say, I want to know everything. I'm here for the full story." And
And
she
she's
gets
like,
the full
nope.
story. It's like, nope, sorry, I I was wrong.
Yeah. And I guess we can kind of finish the talk of characters with the two traitors, the Jackal and Rook, however you say his name. Uh, Jackal more of an antagonist throughout the series. He was the
Oh, and
antagonist of the
that
first
chick
book.
that chick showed back up too.
Oh, Antonio.
No,
Oh, no, Aja.
no, the one that was sent in the institute to talk to parlay with them,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like he recognized her seconds before she was one of the servants
Yeah,
and recognized her seconds before the betrayal happened. But
yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
so she's back in there too, whatever her name was.
Yeah, she was wearing like bone armor and stuff. It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we had the Jackal. Kind of more of a background character for this book with him wheeling and dealing. Um, kind of an interesting character. Turns out he just wants to take revenge on his father and destroy his house for some reason. He's the one that got his older brother killed, which was kind of fun. Um, yeah, so that's kind of the Jackal. Uh, did you like him or kind of mid on him or what'd you think?
He's he is the definition of chaotic neutral. Like whatever benefits him, he's gonna do, and without regard for any consequences. Just like boom. Did he wasn't he also the one that got Pliny killed? Or was that
I
Darrow?
think so, yeah. I mean, they were all like in it together, getting planned killed.
Yeah.
Because also Mustang was in that plan as well.
Okay. Um, yeah, he's a loose cannon. He's strange.
Yeah.
Um, I like him for that. Like he's not the main antagonist, but he's that wild card, loose cannon where like, oh, we got to watch out for him. And like Darrow even said it. He said it himself, and he was warned several times by I think Mustang and
Mhm.
Severo, like, hey, you can't trust this guy. He's like, oh no, I'm not trusting this guy. I'm keeping him at an arm's length. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
You didn't pay attention enough.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's fun. It's gonna be fun seeing the Tolman's kill him next book. I'm guessing that's Tuesday night. Or maybe he won't die. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think he's a fun antagonist um, to our people. And then we got the traitor himself, Rick. Kind of talked a little bit about it in this podcast already with kind of how his betrayal, well, didn't come out of left field or anything, just since there's not much characterization of him, it kind of fell a little flat for both of us. So hopefully when Darrow confronts him again in book three and probably kills him, it's going to be more impactful.
Yeah. Well, we didn't talk about the Sovereign, but I don't have much to talk about with her. Just
Yeah, she doesn't really do anything in this part of the book.
yeah,
She's kind of there as like the big bad.
like she
Uh,
she is the necessary person to go down.
yeah, but yeah, because it was basically her minions like Aja, who seems cool but doesn't really do much. But yeah, that's kind of the main characters, I think. We can move on. Unless you got anything else,
Mm-mm.
and we can go on to kind of the writing style. We've also kind of already talked about this a lot about how you know we've compared them a lot to other novels and things. How it could have worked a little bit better for us, just the style. Um, you know, we've been pretty open that it's not our favorite writing style. How it can be pretty chaotic in the battles. Um, but I do think it has for me these novels are like really cool concepts, but the execution for me isn't there.
Yeah, I agree. And if we were younger, they might hit differently.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like
Um,
this book would be awesome if you're reading it at like 13.
yeah, and you haven't read anything like Sanderson or
Yeah.
I mean even Tolkien. Like Tolkien does a really good job of character development and world building together.
Yeah.
Um, Now, Tolkien has an opposite where you spend tens and tens of pages, and you're like, why hasn't the plot moved forward? We're just walking through woods right now. But um, those moments in Lord of the Rings pay off
Yeah.
when
Like
you get to them. So
yeah, I'll even compare it to, you know, some of the YA novels that I've read, like, you've read the first two, like Throne of Glass, which is a different type. It's more romanticy, but like you definitely get more character development, you know, plot and things like that in those type of books than like this, which is way more, I guess, big picture, just shit going down. Um,
yeah, so like the difference with those, sure they are simplistic. With Throne of Glass, they're simplistic, but she sets out your expectation for the book and what's
yeah,
going to happen, and you get to a conclusion pretty linearly.
yeah,
I'm still in the midst of reading the prequel,
Assassin's Blade.
Assassin's Blade, and I'm in the third story where she's in the desert now.
Mm,
And so those little stories are fun. Um, and those are more character driven.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it like what I ask of a book is to set me up in the first 50 to 60 pages of where this journey is going to go and lead me where you first said it was going to go. You could throw me a twist, um, but ultimately, I'm still going to end up in a somewhere in that end point where you kind of gave
Yeah.
me expectations.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
almost
think
like Martyrs, like, oh, hey, this is a horror story. Oh God,
yeah.
this is horrible. Like,
Yeah. I think I think what this book, now I'm thinking about it, kind of lacks is like connecting chapters, right? A lot of books have like, because like I don't think that any of the twists are like all that mind shattering. It's just like kind of just happen. But it's like there's no like on the way to meet Lorne, Dara on the ship talking with Mustang and them, and then like building up, like that sort of connecting chapter, and then like them, discussing the plan to invade Mars, and then the invasion of Mars. Like, I mean, there's like it's just like, all right, we gotta go meet Lorne. We're meeting Lorne. We got it. Uh, we just got Lorne on our side. Oh wait, Augustus is captured. We gotta go to Mars. We're at Mars. It's just, it has no connecting chapters, so it does feel like it's disjointed in a way, and it's just kind of that's kind of maybe where you feel the disconnect in a little bit because we're used to those books that do connecting chapters. Like there's no like on the road chapter. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I agree. That is 100% a good way to describe it. So,
It's like he's like, all right, I'm gonna tell Mustang that I'm a red. We're at Mars doing the thing. Like, yeah, it's just like no time. Let's go. Yeah. So I guess you got anything else?
I had a few like scenes and quotes that I wrote down.
Yeah.
Like we can discuss them, or I can just go through
Yeah.
them. They were
Go
just
for it.
cool things. First one is I liked the quote Mustang gave. Um, war is inherently immoral, just
Mm,
itself is immoral. And that was in chapter 26 after Darrow said that he wanted to steal the fleet and the students from the institutes.
yeah,
Um,
that did not happen.
yeah, they, Lauren had a badass line right here when he killed Cactus of now that the children are gone, consequences.
Yeah.
It's kind of badass.
Oh yeah.
Um, there was another scene when Severo was asking Jackal a riddle about what's in his pocket. Um, it definitely was a nod to The Hobbit to me.
Hmm.
What's it got in his pocket? I forgot what the riddle. I think it was he said his finger or his hand or something, or maybe it was lint. I don't know. I forgot. Um, yeah. Oh, Lorne. Whenever Darrow was asking Lauren, is like, "Hey, Uh, what did you tell the people about me?" And like his old friends, which I guess were Olympic Knights. I think that it was hinted that his friends that he was talking to were Olympic Knights previously. But he's like, "Yeah, I said you are 5 meters tall. You're followed by a midget and a giant, and you eat glass with your eggs." Like just trying to build up like this legendary
Yeah.
status of Darrow. Um,
Reminds me of Braveheart, where he's like, I shoot lightning out of my ass and whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Like
uh,
I said, this book is not bad. It's just like like we have been complaining about a bunch. I was never bored and like never wanted to put it down and like just say screw this book. It's just kind of like not the style I prefer. But like if
yeah,
I could see why it's popular, right?
it is a lot of very badass cool moments
Yeah.
that just aren't connected.
Yeah.
aren't connected well.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I can definitely see why this is a popular series.
yeah, yeah.
So
The last,
just to the listeners who are like probably tired of us complaining about it a little bit.
yeah. Well, y'all wouldn't listen to us if all we, if we were just like, oh, this
Yeah.
is great, this is great. You gotta talk about the things you do and don't like,
Yeah.
in the discussions, and everybody has their differences.
Mhm.
The last quote I have here was really cool. Um, it was one of those heartfelt moments, when he's at back at Lycos,
Mhm.
with his mom, and his mom told his told Darrow's niece, "The dead can always hear us, my love. Why else do you think we sing? We want them to know that even though they are gone, we can still find joy."
Yeah.
And I God, I didn't write anything down. This made me think that somebody else was still alive, that we think is dead, but I can't
Uh,
remember who.
maybe his uncle, because he said the uncle's dead.
I think it was heavily hinted that his uncle is alive somewhere.
Well, the mom says that the uncle's dead, but yeah, I could definitely see him still being alive.
Yeah,
I really thought the uncle was going to be Ares.
could have been.
Yeah.
I did like where he was. I don't know if he was thinking, or if he was thinking it, or he was talking about his uncle. But the fact that his uncle was actually smarter than his dad,
Yeah.
um, and was the stronger one of the two, even though he appeared to be a drunkard. So,
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
all right.
That's fine.
So I put down the theme. The theme in this section is definitely trust in others.
And how you get screwed by trusting others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how you get screwed over because you don't trust in others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both things have happened. He's trusted people and gotten fucked over, and he's not trusted people who he should have, and then they fucked him over because he didn't trust them. So,
Yeah, definitely. Because you get Cactus almost coming back and trusting them and then getting killed. We get
I think
Mustang.
he was at the point where he did trust them, and he was already converted.
Yeah, definitely. Him and
Not
Elika.
almost there. He was there.
Yeah. Him and Elikar, what could have been.
Yes. Yes. That
Um,
did that. Yeah. There you
yeah,
go.
a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Um,
the Elocar moment hit harder.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Let's see, because we had Mustang, we had Rook, we had Victra being like, I didn't betray you. We had a bunch of trust and betrayals all going around. Um, Dara learning to trust Mustang with the secret, that sort of stuff. Uh, uh, him trusting Ragnar with the secret, yeah, a lot of stuff.
Did he tell Orion yet?
I don't think so. I
She's
don't
going to
think,
be one of the first ones to know too.
yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna get more. No, I guess we can say no predictions. Um, but yeah, definitely the theme, and then of course the overarching theme of like fascism, dictatorships, and race, class, blah 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 blah. That's throughout this entire series. Basically.
Yeah.
All right, you've already given your athletic feat of the week with Ragnar crushing that dude's skull, which was really cool. I'll give you mine. I think mine was a pretty badass moment when Darrow like used the razor to cut through the like gauntlet of the suit so he could like get free of it and like bit into his skin, and he was able to withstand the pain and get himself out of there and save everybody so they didn't all die.
He almost drowned himself though.
He almost did drown himself.
Right when he cut through, he's like, "Oh
He's
wait,
like, oh wait, yeah, that was funny.
wait, what?" Oh yeah, water
Oh
does come in
yeah,
at this moment, and I'm still not free.
yeah. So he had to hold his breath. Yeah, you got to do a lot of athletic things.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, but of course Ragnar was like the ultimate athlete. Um, so yeah. Uh, yeah, I guess we can go move on to your favorite moment.
I've talked about it already, but it's Darrow convincing Tactus to stand down and join him again.
Mhm.
Immediately followed by my least favorite moment of Lorne killing Tactus. Like, no,
No,
I did not. I mean,
we
this,
actually got a good character moment. Hey, he gets killed.
right? I know. It's like, um, at the end of White Spine Uncaged chapter,
Mhm.
the very first time I read that one with Sanderson, I literally yelled out, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, yeah.
Like, something badass happened and then something stupid happened. Like, so yeah, those are my favorite and my least favorite. So, yours.
Definitely good ones. Favorite moment is pretty hard. There is some cool stuff. I like the Tactus moment as well. Yeah, it was sad. Um, I do like the twist at the end. It sets up a good third novel, even though it's not. So probably one of my favorite moments was him returning. The whole him returning to Lycos with Mustang and his mom and all that stuff.
There's
Getting rid of the secret, that's it was time for that to get done. Get reuniting with his mom and their perspective on it was really fun. And then Mustang, and we get more of Ragnar, him trusting Mustang not to kill her, and that whole relationship was really good. And that's probably my favorite moment of the book, or this section. And then my least favorite moment, honestly, was when he killed Karnas. Um, because it just was a very anticlimactic fight. It kind of just was like, I kill him out, and he's dead. When this guy was such built up to be such a menace, I would have liked it to be a more cool fight. It kind of pissed me off. I was like, damn it, really? You just killed that dude like that easily? So that was probably my least favorite of it.
Yeah,
Because he was a
those are good ones.
he was a good villain and just kind of like went out. I got shown. Um,
Yeah, I kind of like the swordsman in Indiana Jones, and then he just pulls out the gun and shoots him.
yeah,
Like, oh, this is gonna be a great sword fight. Oh no, okay, he's dead.
yeah. Honestly, that whole section was kind of my least favorite, just because I was like, it was really confusing what he was doing. He like went alone and was like, got into the thing, and then like I had to reread that he jumped up into the shuttle that was getting away, and then like he kills people, and then like goes down. It was very kind of, for me, not one of my least favorite parts, just because like, the way it was written was confusing to me.
Yeah, there's a lot. You could tell that there are things that he wants to get through,
Yeah,
so that he can spend more time on others. And I think he either one is imposing a page count on for himself, or it's being imposed on him, which could explain why there's some chapters and some scenes that are better written and others
yeah,
that are rushed. Just to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not
yeah.
a shitty writer.
No,
Um,
yeah, it's not. I just don't think he writes combat good. Because I don't
right.
know. Because
Well,
like there's some like
there
him
was some
fighting.
good in there were some good scenes in this one that made a little
Yeah,
more sense. But yeah, overall,
like I liked
I'm very
him.
confused by some, and then there's some typos that make things even more confusing.
Yeah, like I'll say this. Like I rarely ever get lost in combats when reading books. I've read many hundreds of maybe thousands of books. And this one, yeah, like sometimes I'm just like, wait, what the fuck is going on? I don't know if I'm like accidentally skimming, like miss a word, but like I go back, yeah. I just don't, I think for as much as there is combat in these novels, I do think it's one of his worst writings, which kind of sucks. Hopefully, it gets better at it in book three.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, there's
one other thing that I didn't mention about the Tactus scene, one of the cool things that made it more of a cool scene is the fact that when they find him, he's facing away from them and he's talking, and when he turns around, you see basically half of his face is like melted from the bomb
yeah,
that Darrow exploded. And so not only, you know, this added to the tension between Darrow and Tactus because like Tactus is saying, yeah, nobody believes in me. I don't know where I belong. And now you destroyed, like, I look fucking hideous now. I'm a monster. And it's you did this, yet you're trying to convince me that I'm good and that you're my friend and you want me to come back. But it was a very cool, like, got that cinema in my head,
oh
like,
yeah,
moment. So
that was definitely one of the top moments of the novel. Um, which, yeah, and like just could have been highlighted, like we've talked before about if him and Warren's relationship was more established, Tactus and them were more established. We didn't mention Victra. I think she's cool. She kind of just she doesn't really do much. She's mainly off screen, but I hope one, I don't think she's dead. So hopefully she's more in book three.
yeah, I don't think she's dead either. I
Yeah,
don't
I
even
mean,
remember her being shot, like you said, but
oh yeah, her sister shoots her twice in the spine. And she's like crawling to Dara, being like, I didn't betray you. It was pretty gnarly.
oh yeah, okay, now I remember that. See, so many things happen and happen quickly, and then like another crazy thing happens.
Yeah.
I forget some of the stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I like her a lot. So hopefully she's more in book three. And maybe in book four, five, and six. We'll have to see. I guess we can end it with a couple of predictions. You got any, Brandon, for book three?
I really don't. I don't know what's going to happen. Um, then that's one of the weaknesses of his writing.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, I think since we know that there's like a time skip new trilogy, probably they win. I'm guessing one, I guess I'm guessing Dara doesn't get dissected, obviously. Um, that'd be a really interesting book or just 300 pages of him getting tortured. Um, uh, so I'm guessing that they win. Uh, and then like so or like they do like a Star Wars where like they kill the sovereign and there's like the New Republic and like the Empire still around in the trilogies maybe, which could be cool. Like maybe like Mars and like the outer colonies or like break away from Earth and like the Earth and everybody else is there. I could see something like that.
That'd be
Um,
cool.
yeah. I'm gonna go on a limb. I think a major character is gonna die. I think Severo dies.
You think Severo dies?
Yeah, I think he like, you know, they rest in the rescue operation where they get Darrow out of whatever prison that he's in. He like sacrifices himself.
That could be a badass moment.
I could see that being him or Ragnar, but I think there's like a major character, like a character we actually care about die.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's gonna be Mustang.
No, I don't think so either. I think it could be Severo, Ragnar, or even Orion.
Yeah.
I
Or
think
like it'd be cool, like her doing the like the ramming into like the capital ship thing. That'd be fun. Like, good. "Get your escape pod, sir!" And I'm like, "Oh, that'd be fun."
Maybe
Yeah,
that's that she dies. Yeah, she does that at the beginning to rescue Darrow. Yeah, that could be a cool prediction.
that'd be cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't want Orion to die. She seems cool, but I think somebody major is gonna die, and obviously, like the Sovereign. I don't think Cassius is gonna die.
Nah, I wouldn't think so.
I think he's gonna there. He's gonna be kept alive for the second trilogy.
I can see
Maybe as like a Moash, or maybe even like a weird like they like get him on their side somehow. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know how they would
maybe.
do that since they killed his entire family, but um yeah, and hopefully my one last hope for this book three is I hope they do more of like the Mustang Dara relationship building. And like I hope she's more in the novel. Because I thought she was gonna be more she's important, but weirdly she's not in the novel, this one that much.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah, that's the book. Are we continuing on or are we changing it up?
Yeah, we're gonna finish the trilogy. The we're gonna finish reading Morning Star before we move on to something else. And maybe at that point actually do what you wanted to do with swapping between books in two series and going back and forth. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
These have been easy enough where we not get really burned out on it.
yeah, and doing this format on another book, um, I think is going to be good and gives us that practice for it, and kind of gives us a little more practice, just in case, like, one of the other series we start is a little more involved and has more to talk about and stuff.
We get to Ghost Bloods.
Yeah, in a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. All
Yeah.
right, cool. So yeah, our next episode we're gonna I don't have a chapter to stop at, but um
Probably go through two parts. That's kind of what we've been doing.
yeah,
Uh,
probably two parts, but hey, um
just read the entire book for next week.
read the entire book and you're okay. Justin, we'll talk this week and we'll set an end point for our next episode. Um but yeah, I can see I'm looking at the book. I think it's a little few more pages than this one.
Mm.
Um But yeah, likely it'll be half. Maybe we'll put it in three, divide it into three sections. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that was fun. So if you've made it this far, thank you. Go ahead and click that like, that follow, that share button. Leave a rating or review wherever possible. All these things help get our voices into more ears, ears like yours, like Justin's and mine. We would like to read these types of books and either talk about them with other people or hear other people talk about them. Give you a little more perspective and maybe catch things that you missed. Because everybody has their own experiences in life. No two people will ever experience the same event in the same manner. So all those things are great. We appreciate you listening to us, and we have fun doing that. We are sponsored, so go visit our sponsor, Mudcat Whiskers, at mudcatwhiskers.com. Use code Paperweights and save yourself some money on some cool uh, beard products or cologne or candles. So, thank y'all, and we will see you next time.
Bye.